doing to me, Silver?
They want us close together, Frank.
That's not till we start. All right. Get it up. Get it on.
Here goes. It's a kickoff.
The St. Louis Cardinals are off to a disappointing start in the NFC Eastern Division race with just 2 wins in their first 6 games. They have found a fine backup to O.J. Anderson in Willard Harold, scoring against the Rams last week, and a fine rookie tight end in Doug Marsh, snaring this Jim Hart pass for 6 points. On the other hand, the Washington Redskins have had problems of their own, though they did have some bright moments last Monday night against the Denver Broncos. Wilbur Jackson, the former San Francisco 49er, taking the handoff from Joe Theismann, brushing one Bronco defender aside, making a fine move to the inside and romping for 55 yards. His longest run in a Washington uniform. He gained 104 yards rushing on the night. And speaking of fine rookie receivers, the Redskins have one in Art Monk, their #1 draft choice, who will get his first starting assignment today. From RFK Stadium in our nation's capital, it's the NFC Eastern Division battle matching the St. Louis Cardinals and the Washington Redskins. Hi, everybody. I'm Frank Lieber along with Roger Staubach. One big reason for the Cardinals' problems, as a quarterback would only appreciate, their offensive line problems.
They are. The old cliche, games are won and lost in the trench. I really believe that. And the Cardinals' offensive trench right now is a bit depleted. And I asked Jim Hanifin, the head coach, about this critical area for the Cardinals.
Well, obviously, Roger, we've got to rely on the fellows that we're going to go on the field with this afternoon. Last week, they were pressed into duty early in the Los Angeles Ram ball game. And I'm talking about fellows like Ron Kohler in there for Tom Banks and Barney Cotton in for Joe Bostic. So they did get some valuable game experience last week.
They will get, well, no excuses from Washington. And no sympathy either. The Redskins have had their problems injury-wise in the offensive line. They've also got some problems in the place-kicking department. They've made a move to remedy that this week.
Well, they brought Ted Fritsch back. He was with the team. He was the center before. He also was a 100%er on the specialty teams. They like him. They like to have him around. He's now coaching the specialty teams. He's working with Mosley. He's timing him right here, as we see, before the game. He also worked with him all week in practice. They have something going. A field goal could be the difference in this big game today.
A little strange being in Washington without number 12 on your chest.
Well, the fans aren't too crazy about number 12 here with the Cowboys. They remember the Navy days. They've treated me like the old Navy quarterback, and it's been emotional coming back here, but it's been good. It's a beautiful day, and I think it'll be a heck of a football game.
We're looking forward to it. We're ready for the opening kickoff right now between the Cardinals and the Redskins, so let's move on down to the field. Washington receiving, and Mike Nelms is their return specialist. Nice high kickoff. Nelms it is, back to the 15, across the 20, and out across the 30-yard line before he's decked at the 34. Calvin Favron making the stop. Redskin running backs. Ricky Klatt is a rookie free agent who's been hurt. And Monk, as we mentioned, getting his first start. He's been part of the shuttle system as they send in the plays from the bench. Redskins offensive line back in one piece. They've had all kinds of problems. Well, they've got Wilbur Jackson in there and Clarence Harmon. The way things look right now, the handoff goes to Harmon on the first play from scrimmage. Harmon gets it out to the 38, 39-yard line. Pick up of close to 5 yards on that play. Defensively for St. Louis, they play that 3-man front. Bill Acker, the rookie from Texas, inherited the nose guard position after Mike Dawson went down with the knee injury several weeks back. The 4 linebackers, Tim Carney, by the way, Roger, a former Cowboy rookie, and the defensive secondary, and it's a good one. Ken Green, one of the leaders, in fact, a co-leader in the league with 4 pass interceptions on the year. 2nd and 5, Harmon over the left side. Close for the first down. Doesn't look like he's quite got it. course, Roger Worley is in that secondary, too. You made him an all-pro several years, didn't you?
Used to pick him out wide open over there in the defensive secondary, threw a few interceptions to him. The Redskins, Frank, are, of course, trying to run the football. They feel that's critical to them. They, of course, as everyone knows that has followed the Redskins, they don't have Riggins, but they have Klatt and Harmon and Wilbur Jackson. They'll be running the ball. Theismann needs to have the running game going to implement his play-action passes as well as his passing downfield.
Bobby Hammond has come in replacing Harmon on 3rd and 2. Theismann, a lot of protection, and got the completion to the tight end. Down Warren, down the sideline to the 30 and out of bounds at the 23 at St. Louis.
Well, I tell you, I wish we could pick this up here. Theismann was dropping back. He was looking for his running backs. They were about 6-7 yards downfield. They were in the first down area. But watch him point. He's telling Warren, he's pointing to him to get open. He can't find his running back, so he's telling Warren right here, hey, get open there. Warren is back now. He had a fibula problem, broken bone in his leg. He's been out. He came back last week against Denver, and he's back in action again and made a big play here down the sidelines after he caught the football. Excellent play, and I believe Theismann came off the running backs and fired it into Warren. A fine throw and a great catch and a good run.
First down at the 23-yard line. Wilbur Jackson sent in motion by Joe Theismann. Roll-out pass, gets it away, completes it. Jackson at the 15 and out of bounds at the 12. So the Redskins are off rolling. They showed signs the last couple of weeks of coming alive, particularly in the Monday night game against Denver. With that offensive line back in shape, they look like the Redskins offense that had been promised the fans at the start of the season.
Well, Theismann's a good rollout quarterback, and he had Wilbur Jackson in motion going to the right, and all he does when he rolls out, he checks and see if anybody takes Jackson out there. If Jackson, no one's on him, he'll just dump it out to him. Other than that, he's got the tight end hooking over the middle. That time they didn't take Jackson, and he picked up about 8 yards. In fact, he picked up 10 yards, Frank, in the first down.
Officials mark it at the 11. Going outside is Clarence Harmon, and Harmon is dragged down at about the 10-yard line. Mark Arneson over on the far side. We get a flag.
I believe someone pulled his face mask.
And that, of course, will put the Redskins in business inside the 10-yard line with a first and goal.
Here we go on the replay here. It's just a slant off tackle. Harmon breaks it to the outside. He's got some running room out there. Jankowski, good block on Jankowski. Warren has got a nice block, and Arneson gets him right here, and there it is. There's the face mask, and Mark, you're not allowed to do that.
Personal foul, 5-yard face mask penalty, number 55, defense, first down.
I believe that's a mistake right there. It was Arneson's the one, 57, I believe.
You're probably right, but they did call the infraction. The call was correct, and of course it puts the Redskins in shape of the first down and goal to go from the 7. Jackson up the middle, sliding a bit to the right, moving it inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. Steve Neal's number 53, the left side linebacker, stacking him up for the St. Louis Cardinals. So the Redskins with an impressive opening drive, which started at their 34-yard line after a fine kickoff return by Nelms. And paced by the big pass to Warren, have now moved it down to the Cardinal 4, second and goal. Art Monk wide to the left side. And Ricky Thompson is flanked off to the right. Theismann at 6 points. Clarence Harmon. And the Redskins are on the scoreboard.
Well, someone didn't take Clarence Harmon. Theismann's back. He's looking downfield a little bit. He checks the linebacker out there, and he goes right out to Harmon. And someone just missed an assignment, got back too deep when you're down in the end zone. And it looks like Tim Kearney and Steve Neals had a mix-up over there. And Carl Ellen, of course, he's back in the end zone. They just got back too deep, those linebackers, and Theismann took advantage of it, dumped it out to Harmon, and 6 points.
He troubled Mike Mosley, and Mosley drills through the extra point, so the Redskins take less than 3 minutes to get on the scoreboard.
Well, that was pretty impressive, Frank. They went right down the field, the big play to Warren, and they're on the scoreboard quickly.
Quiet me, comfort me. The day's been long, so quiet me, LTD. And let me drive my cares away, far away, to where I want to be. Now I see suddenly the worry let letting go of me. Peace, quiet, comfort. Discover a world called LTD. Quiet me, LTD.
Light, right? Wrong. I want natural light.
Hey, you switched. I thought you were enamored with that other light beer.
Man, I think natural light tastes better. That's why I switched.
Right, and there's nothing artificial in this less filling beer. It's made with only natural ingredients.
Hey, I can dig it. And in fact, natural light tastes so good, it makes me want to sing.
Natural light. Taste is why you'll switch.
Mosley getting ready to kick off for the Washington Redskins, who have jumped out in front 7-0. There is no love lost between these two teams. There's the book on the Redskins scoring drive.
That's right. And, you know, one thing you try to do in a football game, you like to get something going positive. This is the first time the Redskins have scored on an opening drive this year, so that's a real plus. And it's a big boost to the entire team, and it helps the specialty teams, too. They're down now. They're in action looking to make the big hit.
Willard Harrell back to the 20, 30. And across the 35-yard line, out of bounds at the 37 against the Redskins specialty team, one of the best in the league. That's a fine kickoff return.
That's too long of a return. Evidently, it didn't help their specialty team. But that's unusual to have a Redskin kickoff coverage team returned on past the 25-yard line. They're out to about the 37, 38-yard line.
So look at the Cardinals' offensive line. The lone survivor from the start of training camp is Dan Deerdorf. They're down to their 5th and 6th guards. They have really had some problems. Hart has been sacked 17 times this year. It's one of the worst marks in the league. Anderson taking the handoff across the 40 out to the 43. By the way, we should point out that the touchdown the Redskins scored a moment ago is their first at home this year. In 2 games, they've been blanked in the touchdown department. Redskins front 4. Coy Bacon, perhaps the best pass rusher there. Redskin linebackers Dusick and Olkowitz were out with injuries. Good portion of the first 3 or 4 games. And Tony Peters, as you see, is replacing the veteran Ken Houston, who's been in the Pro Bowl 12 straight years as the starter at the strong secondary and the strong safety spot. 2nd and 5. Wayne Morris.
There's a holding penalty in the middle of that line, Frank.
Would have been enough for the first down, but the penalty will negate that. This telecast is presented by authority of the NFL. It's intended for the private use of our audience and any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Washington Redskins and the National Football League is prohibited. So the walk-off goes against the St. Louis Cardinals, which will move the ball back 10 yards and spot it now at the 33. And the call from Dick Jorgensen.
Holding, number 51, offense, still 2nd down.
Tom Brahaney, the center, is guilty of the holding call. It is now 2nd down. Call it 16 needed for the first down. Cardinals with the football at their 33-yard line. Hart sending Tilley wide to the right side. He's got Mel Gray split to the left. Jim Hart back to throw. Pass is deflected at the line of scrimmage, incomplete. Somebody got a hand up. Looked like it might have been Coy Bacon, number 79.
Well, here's Hart straight back. He's got O.J. Anderson going out to the right as a flare pass, but he's looking downfield. He looks like he's going to Marsh, the tight end over there, and the ball is tipped, and I didn't get a number on that tip pass.
It looked like 65. That would make it Butts if that was the case, coming in from the left side. It sets up a 3rd and 16.
This is where the Redskins, of course, they bring in their extra backs. They take Wysocki out of the game.
Rushes high. Sack number 18 against the Cardinals this year. Coy Bacon breaking through from the right side.
Well, this is the unusual area, though. This is where they feel they've got Brad Oates over there that can handle Bacon, but in this case, he got around the corner there and made the sack on Hart.
Green Bay is the only team in the NFC which has permitted more quarterback sacks. They've had 20 this year. Nelms from the 45 runs it back into St. Louis territory to the 46-yard line. So a fine return by Nelms off the punt of Larry Swider. Timeout. We'll be back in Washington after these words.
Now, the Firestone steel-belted Trax 12 radial. Trax 12 has special traction bars for pulling power in snow, but they're hidden in the Trax 12 tread for smooth, quiet turnpike driving. Long-lasting Trax 12 with traction you can see. Traction 12 months a year. Trax 12, Firestone's lowest-priced steel-belted white wall radial.
There's one team that plays for keeps. It's a big team. Its color is green. The big green team of National Car Rental.
We play for keeps. To keep you coming back. We try to answer calls in under 3 rings. At one of the most modern reservation centers.
When the GM car you want passes our maintenance checklist, you know it's dependable.
That's how we play for keeps.
And that's why I keep coming back. 16 times this past year.
The big green team. 12,000 people worldwide. We play for keeps.
Next Saturday, Mike Weaver puts his WBA heavyweight crown on the line against Harry Coetzee. See same-day coverage next Saturday, 4:30 Eastern on the CBS Sports Spectacular.
Redskins with excellent field position after the 35-yard punt by Swider had a first down at the Cardinal 46-yard line. Monk wide to the right side. Ricky Thompson set in the slot inside of it. Redskins run it out of the I formation, give it to Jackson, and Jackson fights his way down to the 41 for a pickup of 5. Mark Arneson making the stop. Of course, you go back to the Redskins' problems, not only the place kicking, some injuries, but also John Riggins not being there. He makes such a big difference.
Well, Riggins had over 1,100 yards last year, and you lose someone like that, it does make a big difference. Jackson's coming into his own. He's running well. He ran well against Denver last week, and that time he just, on that I formation, that double back behind each other set, he just rolled back to daylight, almost broke it.
2nd and 5. Redskins at the 41. Jackson goes in motion. A little indecision there on the part of the Cardinal defense as they hand the ball straight up the middle to Ricky Klatt, who has just come into the game, number 35. Short of the first down. He'll take it down to the 38-yard line. From Bethune-Cookman, a rookie free agent who is the Redskins' leading rusher till he hurt an ankle a couple of weeks ago. He comes out and Bobby Hammond is back in. 3rd down and 3. Redskins leading 7-0. 10 minutes left to play in the opening period. Art Monk wide to the right side. Don Warren, the tight end, is split out right. Theismann, good protection, hits Monk. That's good for a first down at the 34-yard line. Roger Worley, number 22, staying with the rookie.
Here's Art Monk. This is a route where he's driving Roger Worley downfield, makes it look like he's going deep, and then he comes inside. He makes a little move there, then he comes underneath all the traffic. They only needed 3 yards. He came underneath the linebackers, and Worley had to recover, come back, and of course Monk did his job. He got the first down. It was a short game, but it was good enough for the first down.
Jackson going wide, cuts back in, 30, 25, 20, and down to the 15-yard line. Another first down. Fine block leading the way from Ron Saul, number 64, to open the hole for Jackson.
Well, he left Tim Kearney and Eric Williams in the wake back there, and he cut inside tackle hole right here. Here's where Williams gets knocked off. A good block there. He comes back inside right here, and there's a block missed. Roy Green, the strong safety, missed the tackle, and Jackson just cut inside. He's a strong runner. He's got good speed and got a lot out of that play there.
1st and 10 from the 15-yard line. On the delay, it goes to Jackson again, and this time there's not much there. Gets a yard, and that's it. Bill Acker, the nose tackle, number 67, rookie out of Texas, making the stop. Acker with some awful big shoes to fill after Mike Dawson went down with the knee injury. Tough spot for a first-year man. The Redskins have had no problems moving the ball. They'll be passing along scores of other games, along with, of course, that Dallas-Philadelphia one, which is a biggie. Beautiful day, field in great shape.
2nd down, 9 in a passing situation here, Frank.
And that's what Theismann is doing.
Got the tight end right there, Warren.
Warren didn't look around quick enough, did he?
He had Roy Green on him man-to-man. He had some help over there from Ken Green, number 37. He made a little bit move, but he had the daylight to the outside. He makes a good move here. Theismann's back. He's going to the tight end all the way. Don Warren, number 85. Watch Warren makes an inside move, breaks back to the outside. He has Roy Green beat, and the ball was a little bit high, but it should have been catchable. And he made a good play, a good route. He just didn't catch the ball.
Theismann throw it too early, you think?
It was thrown a little early, a little bit hard. It would have been a nice play if Warren would have caught it. But he had the first part of the way right. Play right. He got open.
3rd down and 9. Redskins at the 14-yard line of the St. Louis Cardinals. Again back to throw. Joe Theismann flushed out of the pocket. There's a flag down, and he is caught from behind the line of scrimmage. Turned out to be a foot race after all, and Roy Green caught Theismann from behind, but there was a flag down in the area where you normally see the holding call, and that's what it's going to be.
This is an interesting call here. I would think you would decline the play and go for let him kick the field goal from there, or you might take the penalty to get him maybe a little bit farther out of field goal range. It's
well, now you can't do both.
No, I know you can't do both.
What you going to do, Roger?
I would decline it here.
Decline the penalty and make him try to kick the field goal.
I think Theismann's a big play type guy. He can scramble around. He might hit a first down there. But obviously that's why I'm not coaching.
Holding number 74. Offense still 3rd down.
Well, they got big George Stark. George is back. He's been injured. We're happy to see him back in there, number 74. But on that play, he cheated.
If that's what you say. 3rd down and 19. Ball is now at the 24-yard line of the St. Louis Cardinals. Theismann going for the first down, has Monk.
I think they got back to where the penalty was walked off.
That's about it. So really, we just saved the time if they had declined the penalty, right? They're going to wind up kicking the field goal from about the same spot. Short of the first down, he actually took it a yard further down to the 13-yard line, and now, of course, Mr. Mosley, who is 3 out of 12. Got to be thinking about it.
The fans are rooting for him right now. That's a good sign. He's got him behind him as long as he makes it.
You just said the key word, didn't you?
As good as your last kick.
30-yard attempt by Mosley, and it is good.
Right through the middle.
And even Mosley shot a triumphant fist into the air.
Yeah, they can say all they want about Mosley. I think he's as good as anybody in the league. He's just in a bit of a rut right now, but he's back on track.
Sorry, no experience, no job.
But where do I get the experience?
Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines.
We don't ask for experience, we give it. You won't read it in a book, you live it. Pick a service, pick a challenge, set yourself apart.
Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. What a great place, it's a great place to start.
Introducing a car that combines the brain power of German engineers, Japanese engineers, American engineers. Introducing a world car. The new Ford Escort, built in America with better ideas from around the world. Higher gas mileage ratings than Rabbit, Accord, Corolla hatchback. Yet roomier inside. With four-wheel independent suspension, front-wheel drive. Ford Escort, built in America to take on the world.
Thursday, James Whitmore guest stars on The White Shadow as Coach Reeves gets the new team members in line.
If you can't cut it in school, you're finished on this team.
A special White Shadow Thursday.
Mosley ready to kick off for the Washington Redskins. 7 minutes left to play in the opening period, and the Redskins lead the Cardinals by a score of 10-0. Back deep are Roy Green and Willard Harrell. Spinning kick coming down at the 15-yard line. Fielded at that point by Green. Back to the 20, 25, and back to the 28. Fine tackle by Mike Nelms, the kick return specialist for the Washington Redskins.
Nelms has done a good job. He's the leading punt returner in the league, and he's probably 6th or 7th in kickoff returns, and he's also on all the specialty teams, and he made the tackle there. And we've got a Redskin hurt.
Got a score for you here. Miami leads Buffalo 7-0 as Don Bessalou picked up a fumble by Joe Cripps and ran 43 yards. There is still no score in Philadelphia. Their game is about as far as long as this one is. But Harold Carmichael just made a pass reception in that game and marks the 119th consecutive game in which he has caught a pass. Keep in mind that Mel Gray of the Cardinals has a streak of his own going, the 4th longest in NFL history. He has caught passes in 95 consecutive games in which he has played. Ray Waddy, number 47, is the injured Redskin being tended to down on the 32-yard line, and it looks like it might be a leg problem.
There's the towel on the Redskins. It's a lot of the players wear it on the special team. It says Wild Bunch, and it was a phrase coined by Ted Fritsch, who was the captain of the specialty teams. He was let go early in the season. They brought him back. We talked about him earlier. Hardiman's got the towel on there. But they take a lot of pride in that specialty area. Ever since George Allen was in Washington, of course, Pardee was here with George. And the specialty teams are critical to any team. They can make a difference in 2 or 3 games during the season, and they have a lot to do with field position during the game. And they also set the tempo of a game. Those specialty teams are going down there and playing like a wild bunch. They can make a difference in a football game, and the Redskins have one of the best specialty teams in the league.
Timeout here in Washington. We'll be back with you after this.
When you've got to rely on your vehicles, rely on AC Delco.
Workin'. AC Delco.
AC Delco for AC fire ring spark plugs, AC filters, Delco shocks, and now a battery that's even tougher than Freedom, the maintenance-free Delco Freedom 2 with more efficient starting power.
AC Delco, working hard for you.
For over 50 years, hard-working people have relied on AC Delco parts for just about anything that moves.
AC Delco, working hard for you.
Division of General Motors.
Space Station 12, this is ground control. There seems to be a weight variance of plus 3 pounds in the main cabin. Please confirm, over.
This is Space Station 12. Cannot confirm weight variance.
Breaking for chow now, over. Gentlemen, this is our steak, this is our salad, and this is our weight variance.
All right, Strohs.
Captain, now I know why you're captain.
See same-day coverage of the Mike Weaver-Harry Coetzee battle for the WBA Heavyweight Championship next Saturday, 4:30 Eastern on the CBS Sports Spectacular.
Time is still out here in Washington as Waddy is being assisted from the field. He, by the way, is normally one of their nickel backs, so that's going to bring about an adjustment in their defensive secondary and passing situations.
Well, right. The nickel term is bringing an extra defensive back in to replace a linebacker, so they have 5 defensive backs. Actually, the Redskins, the nickel phrase is really kind of out to date because they bring in 2 defensive backs, Jarris White and Waddy. So they really have 6 defensive backs in there with Monty Coleman playing defense.
That's a
probably
dime,
Kenny Houston will come in to replace Waddy this time.
Isn't that a dime or a quarter?
I think it's 6 cents. Isn't it?
Ball is at the 28-yard line. Cardinals.
Oh, this football jargon.
1st and 10. Yep. Just confuse everybody. Mel Gray wide to the left side. Pat Tilley is off to the right. Jim Hart, veteran quarterback of the Cardinals, handing off to Otis Anderson. Anderson turning that corner. Redskins have had pretty good success.
Look at
the 2 games against Anderson.
Number 51. Monty Coleman's in there now. He's pointing back to the Cardinals. He feels that Chris Combs, who was in there, blocked down on him, but that was a key block. Combs made a good move. He knocked Coleman down. Coleman was complaining a little bit, but that was a key block. That got Anderson around the corner.
Pickup of 7 yards. It is 2nd down and 3 as the Cardinals move it from their 35-yard line. They trail by a score of 10-0. We're still in the opening period. Anderson tries the left side, gets a block from Wayne Morris, lost the football. Redskins have recovered.
Well, the Cardinals got that double tight end offense in there, and they're running the football, and Otis just lost the handle here. He kind of was running a little bit tentative here to break up. He was going to break in. He accelerated here a little bit, and Coy Bacon, big number 79, stripped him, and looks like Dusac. recovered the fumble. Brad Dusak, number 59.
First down, Redskins at the 39. And once again, the Redskins start this drive with excellent field positioning. Ricky Thompson in motion. The handoff goes from Theismann to Harmon. Escapes the
back.
tackle
There's
at the
the
scrimmage.
Carl Allen, number 27, was over there. Other than that, Harmon did the right thing. He rolled it to the right side. He saw no daylight over there, and he starts to reverse his field. And sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't work. And it would have worked this time, except number 27, Carl Allen, was there and headed him off at the pass and caused the trip there.
And the reinforcements arrived quickly, as you can see on the replay. Second down, 10. No gain in the play. Redskins at the St. Louis 39. They go with that 2 wide receiver, both to the right side formation. Muck is out there. So is McDaniel. But the handoff goes straight up the middle to Harmon. Picks up yardage to about the 37-yard line. Well, you've been in Washington for a few hours. Have you had a chance to say hello to Darren Talbert?
No, Darren, he hasn't expressed an interest to say hi to me either.
He never did he?
No. He's a 100%er, though. He's a tough football player. He's been in and out this year. He plays some, and Perry Brooks plays some also.
It used to be some psychological game you and he used to play.
He used to lay it on me. Sometimes it worked, and sometimes it didn't.
Third down and 7. Theismann again benefiting from excellent protection. He was almost intercepted. Believe it or not, Lee Nelson, the defensive back, number 38, almost wound up with the football as Ricky Thompson had it in his hands. It popped out right into the lap of Nelson, and he couldn't handle it.
Well, I'll tell you, Theismann anticipated here. It was Nelson was on Thompson man-to-man. They went downfield, and when someone's on you that tight, what you do is fake to the inside, break outside. When he did that, the ball was on the money, and he dropped it and was almost intercepted.
Look at this. Mosley's going to try to kick a field goal.
They're going for it right here, the big field goal.
That's 36-7, 43, 53-yard attempt.
He's capable, though. He's got a strong leg, and this is in his range.
He almost hit the 52-yarder at the gun against Denver the other night. It is high. It is just short. Right under the crossbar.
He got a little grass on that one, Frank. He got a little bit into the dirt and came under it. And normally Mosley can, of course, kick him. He could kick him into the stands from there. He was on target but short.
That, of course, had to go into the category, I would think, of a confidence booster. If he makes it, you know, got to shoot his confidence way up. And if he doesn't, well, you figure 53 yards, your chances are against you anyway.
They think a lot of Mark Mosley. He kicked 25 of 33 last year and was instrumental in their success. And this year he's having a little bit of a slump for him. And they want him to do well, not only for his sake, but for the team's sake.
Cardinals take over at the line of scrimmage, which is the 36-yard line, and Hart immediately goes upstairs. Pass is complete to Mel Gray. That's good for a first down at the 44 of Washington. So Gray keeps his string intact now. 96 straight games.
Here's Jim Hart. Of course, Jim Hart is one of the real great passers. He's been at it 15 years. He's a pure passer, and he can step in there and throw with the best of them. And he drills it on a string out to Gray, and good anticipation. And Gray finds a hole in there, and well, they're into plus territory now. They're into the first time into Redskin territory, Frank.
They're down at the 44-yard line of the Washington Redskins. Anderson slipped at the line of scrimmage. We get 2 flags thrown, and we may get a holding call here against the St. Louis Cardinals.
Get Wayne Morris on that one.
By the way, the word from downstairs is that Ray Waddy has suffered a broken left leg.
Well, I hate to hear that. I hope it's not a major bone in that leg.
Illegal motion, tight end, offense, decline, second down.
Well, we got a motion penalty there.
Here's a score you might have a little interest in. Mike Hagman has just run 22 yards with a recovered fumble, and the Cowboys lead the Eagles 7-0.
Well, I felt that game was going to be a turnover situation, and teams are that even. So the turnover did start the scoring action.
Second down, 11. Ball is at the 45 of the Washington Redskins. Hart dropping back into the pocket, swings it out to Wayne Morris. Morris having a tough time controlling his balance and run out of bounds at the 42 by Monty Coleman. Hart was saying before the game, we were talking to him on the field, that he mentally had to forget the fact that he might throw the ball quicker with the new offensive lineman in there.
Well, you do. You got to stay in your same rhythm. You work on it in training camp all through your career, and you start rushing your passes, and you just like anybody else, you get off rhythm when you're a finely tuned athlete. It can affect you, especially a quarterback. So he's got to drop back, and he's got to have the protection, slide to the side if he has to, but don't worry about rushing the pass. Try and stay in a normal rhythm.
3rd down and 8. Redskins showing blitz
all the way.
Rich Malott, number 57, outside linebacker on the right side, zoomed through untouched.
Boy, Mary Hart is not going to like that one. Well, Hart's back. There's a missed assignment. Either someone didn't pull out to get Malott, number 57, because no one touched him. They're doubling up in the middle on Bacon, so I'd say the center guard made a mistake. They've got to pull out when they're not uncovered and not double and look for that blitz. And no one looked for the blitz. Number 57 was the extra man coming, and no one touched him.
Swider is back to do the punting. Mike Nelms, the leading punt returner in the NFC, waiting at about the 10-yard line. His last punt was a 35-yarder. This is a beauty. Sails over the head of Nelms and on into the end zone and out on the fly. So the Redskins will take over at the 20-yard line with 3 minutes and 46 seconds left to play. Opening period, RFK Stadium. Gorgeous afternoon for football after a lot of rain in the area yesterday afternoon, last night, and some ominous looking clouds this morning.
Well, the Cardinals are going to have to turn this tide, because right now the Redskins definitely have the upper hand in score, but also in tempo of the game. They came out, they've moved the ball. Other than the pass to Gray, the Cardinals have been stymied, so there's got to be a change in the way things are going right now for St. Louis to be successful today.
This is the worst field position the Redskins have started to drive. Again, Theismann gets fine protection, hits Jackson, who slips and falls, and gets up and makes it a 5-yard gainer. Carl Allen, number 27, there to make the tackle secure.
Theismann's dangerous when he rolls and gets to the outside. He immediately starts looking for his tight end or his running backs, and he can also run with the football.
This is a fine playing surface here, is it not?
It's a great surface. It's probably one of the best in the league. It's well maintained. There's no baseball played here anymore, so it's in good shape year round.
2nd down, let's call it 4 for the 1st down. As the officials have it marked at the 26-yard line. Jackson was obtained from San Francisco for a number 2 draft choice in preseason when it became evident that Riggins was not going to report. And of course the 49ers wound up with a real find out there in Earl Cooper. Seattle is playing the New York Jets this afternoon. Herrera has kicked a field goal, 48 yards. And Seattle leads it 3-0. That's about halfway through the first period. 3rd down. They need a yard for the 1st down. Harmon and Jackson as the setbacks behind Joe Theismann. Harmon gets the call. Dive into the middle of the line. I don't know if he made it. Hard to tell from up here.
Well, he did. I feel that the Redskins now are, again, they've got themselves out of that poor field position. They're again in pretty decent shape, and the Cardinals have got to make a play. They've got to do something to get the ball back, a turnover, or stop this Redskin movement.
Harmon comes out. Platt comes in at a running back. Don Cockcroft has kicked a 40-yard field goal for the Browns to give them the lead over Cleveland. 1st and 10. Our score, 10-0. Redskins. Platt out to the 33-yard line. Rob Pollard making the stop for St. Louis.
Of course, you know, St. Louis lost big Mike Dawson. He's as big as a tree in that middle. He had his kind of a freak injury. He was kind of in midair, Frank, and someone hit him in his knee with the helmet, and he had an operation on his knee. They've got Bill Ackle in the middle, and that nose guard and that 3-man rush is really critical, and the Redskins are working on that little bit on the middle right now. They're not getting a whole lot, but they're working on it.
2nd and 7. Redskins from their 33. Theismann bumped around. Who got it? St. Louis. Carl Allen intercepts. 1st down at the 38-yard line.
Well,
Monk was the intended receiver.
He hit Monk on the numbers, and this is a tough play to run on Roger Worley, who's one of the real premier defensive backs. But Monk comes back on the ball. When you run a turn-in route, you've got to come back to the quarterback, defensive back will create a problem and might get an interception. But Monk does a good job. He comes back to the ball. It hits him in the numbers. It's bounced. And anytime the ball's tipped up in the air like that, it's usually a problem for the offense. And sure enough, here's Carl Allen, number 27, making the play.
Well, it shows up in the records, the statistics, as an interception against Theismann. It certainly wasn't deserved. So here's the Cardinals now trying to take advantage of this field position from the Washington 38. They give to Anderson down to the 35. Now with that offensive line, inexperience, they haven't played together. Which is tougher for them, pass block or run block?
Well, the running game, someone can make a mistake and the runner can make a good game. The passing game, you make a mistake, someone misses an assignment, or they just get beat from lack of experience, and it's all over for the quarterback. And Hart is a great passer. He's not noted for his scrambling. His last rush, I think, was about 3 or 4 years ago. No, it hasn't been that long. They've got 2 tight ends in here, and they're going to throw with the 2 tight ends.
2nd and 7, Hart rush.
Good play, Jim Hart.
Ball is dropped by the tight end, Doug Marsh, number 87. Now, if you're a quarterback, it's got to make you sick.
Watch that. Hart does a good job. He's looking over here at the other side for Combs, the other tight end. He has Marsh going across the middle. Then he goes back to Anderson. Anderson doesn't have it. He ducks Perry Brooks, and then comes back late again to hit Marsh, and Marsh is sick. He's mad at himself right there. And
how about Hart?
Don't blame him. Hart's disappointed also. This is a key down. This is 3rd and 7 now, and they need something positive here.
Cardinals are at the Redskin 35. They trail 10-0. Again,
here's the blitz.
The blitz.
Again, the blitz.
And they knocked her down. Flag is down as Hart is sacked back at the 46 by Monty Coleman, number 51. Malott also came through there, number 57.
You know one thing about it, when you beat someone on the blitz the first time, which they did in the series before, they're going to continue to throw it at you till you do something about it. And you either have to hit the quick receiver on a down and in, or hit somebody quick.
Number 60.
Here's the penalty here, holding, which they declined.
4th down.
Here's Jim Hart back, and he's got everybody coming in here. There's Malott coming around the other side now, and number 57, but Perry Brooks is in there also, and you've got to either block it or you have to hit a quick receiver to hurt it. And if you get trapped in those blitzes, they'll throw them at you all day.
Redskins been reading the papers. They know that the Cardinals are hurting in the offensive line. That is 3 times now that Hart has been sacked in the first quarter. Fine kick by Swider. Touchback.
You know, Jim Hart went through a whole season a few years ago, I believe, with 8 or 9 sacks.
8 sacks.
8 sacks, and he's had 17 so far this year. Now he's got 3 more. That's 20. And Jim's got a good release. He usually gets rid of the ball quickly, and probably today they're going to talk it on the sidelines to start throwing the quick passes, the down and ends, or try to get those extra people out blocking, or maybe keep some backs in and go downfield. But right now they can't just run a normal offense with that Redskin rush.
34 seconds left to play in the opening period. Redskins leading 10-0. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Wilbur Jackson out to the 23. Pickup of 3. It'll be 2nd down 7 as Tim Carney made the stop for the St. Louis Cardinals. When you were quarterbacking the Cowboys last year, how did you attack this Cardinal defense? They were playing the 3-man front then.
Are you interested, or
I'm curious as to what
people out there are interested?
Well, I think people out there might.
You know, they've got the 3-man rush, and what you have to do again, anytime you have 3 men, you want to run the football on them, and then you get into the passing situations. You can go in underneath the linebackers because they have extra people back there, or between the linebackers and the secondary. So we were able to. We really felt you had to run on St. Louis because of the 3-man rush.
I'll ask you the same thing about the Redskins next time they get the football, so get ready. That's the end of the first quarter here at RFK Stadium. Back after this.
I needed the mileage of a Toyota Cressida, but it didn't have enough room. What I needed was the room of a Volvo, but it didn't get good enough mileage. What I needed was a citation. What I didn't need was the price. What I needed was a miracle. What I found was a Fairmont.
Ford Fairmont. It makes a world of sense.
A world of better ideas coming from Ford.
Light beer, Mr.
Conti, and I switched to natural light.
You switched from that other light beer?
Yeah, I think natural light's got the taste that leaves them all in the backfield.
You bet, and there's nothing artificial in this less filling beer. It's made with only natural ingredients.
The real point is taste. Besides, since I switched to natural light, I'm making a name for myself.
Hey, Nick Bonacani! Where? I know him.
Natural light. Taste is why you'll switch.
Super automotive values from Sears. Weatherwise tires. Sears Best all-weather steel-belted radio. Weatherwise. And now it's on sale. You save 25%. 0 degrees Fahrenheit. 8 hours later, minus 30, and it's still started. The Die Hard. Now on sale at our lowest price of the year. Only $49.88 with trade-in. You save $15. At Sears, where America shops for value.